Hello FlossTube, it's Kate, Madam Ice, and welcome back to my second FlossTube video. It has been about 5 weeks since my last video, so I am at the end of my work cycle, and it is my 4-day weekend, and I'm here to share with you what has gone on in the last 5 weeks. Before I start, I just wanted to thank everyone who watched my first video, who commented on my first video. I honestly didn't expect anyone to watch it at all, so to have anyone at all comment and say, hello, welcome to FlossTube, it's just so nice and so unexpected for me, so I just wanted to say thank you very much to everyone who watched or liked or commented on my first video, and I'm really happy that you're here watching my second one again. I wanted to especially thank a couple people, Donna Ray from Flannel Jammies Farm and Cindy from Cindy's Cross Stitch. I just wanted to say thank you in particular to those two ladies. I know I watched some of their updates and I heard my name come out of their mouths and my jaw dropped to the floor. I didn't expect to hear either one of them say my name ever, so it was super nice to get some, you know, as Donna would say, charming mentions from them, and super nice, so thank you again to those two ladies. So let's see, in the past 5 weeks I have gone on a trip to California, so I went on a week-long trip to there. I'll just go ahead and tell you about that. So I went to California to visit my sister-in-law, lives in LA, and then I have a friend who lives in San Diego. So I went to visit both of them and to take some time off work. And it was super fun. So let's see, I got off work in the morning at 8:30, and I went pretty much straight to the airport and got on a plane to LAX. While I was on the plane, I worked on my Hardanger ornament, so when I get to my whips section, I will show you where I am on that. Ooh. I forgot to get that one out, but I will go get it and show you it during the whip section. So, I worked on that on the plane out there. I had been doing a big push to try to get to the point where I was actually doing Hardanger and cutting threads. And so the weekend before I left, I was able to meet up with the woman who gave me that kit, Mary Lou, and she showed me how to cut those threads and do the needle weaving and stuff. So that was super nice. So I worked on that on the plane. And then, let's see, I got out to California and met up with my sister-in-law, and she took me to dinner. So it was at a restaurant. It was called Casablanca. I'll give you a second to try to guess what type of cuisine they served there. But to set the scene, it was themed from the movie Casablanca, and there was definitely a strong Moroccan theme going on in there. And they serve Mexican food. So if you didn't guess Mexican, I'm sorry. It was pretty obvious, wasn't it? Yeah. But it was pretty good. I got chimichanga. That was really good. And we got margaritas that were smoky margaritas. So that was interesting. I've never had anything like that before. So that was good. And then pretty much after that, I was spent because I had just worked all night and then flown all day. So I kind of just went home and went to bed. But the next day, my sister-in-law had to work, so I kind of had the day for myself. So I packed up a small bag and I started walking. And I walked all the way to the ocean. She doesn't live that far away, just a couple miles. But I just kept walking until I got there, which is fine. It was kind of fun to see the other ocean, right? I'm on the East Coast, so to see the Pacific is fun and interesting. And I walked down, they have a park in Santa Monica that's right in front of the ocean. It has a nice ocean view. So I sat on a bench there for a while and I actually stitched. I stitched on my class schedule piece while I was sitting on that bench for a couple hours, and it was super relaxing and super fun and definitely what I needed to happen. Definitely what I needed out of a vacation. So I sat and I stitched with a view for a while. I'll go ahead and insert a picture over here of my stitching with the view. So while I was sitting there, you know, something interesting that they have out there that I didn't know existed that I think is really kind of fun. They have these scooters called birds. And at first I was really confused because I asked my sister-in-law why they were just random scooters parked on corners of the streets with no one around them. And I guess it's a thing, you can go up to them and you can, you know, put your card in and pay for a scooter ride, and it's, I think, per distance. And you can just use these scooters. There's also bikes, but you can just ride around on these scooters for a cost per distance, and that's, I mean, something that I just hadn't experienced before and I thought was really interesting. Sorry, my dog is checking out what I'm doing over here. You might see her going in and out this door. Her name is Stella. She's pretty awesome, if I do say so myself. But so yeah, the scooters. I was too scared to ride one. I didn't pluck up the courage to get on one of them, but I did download the app, so that's half a step towards getting one, but I never did. Yeah, so let's see. So I was sitting on the bench and I was stitching along, and then this guy came up and he asked if he could ask me some questions. He was from ESPN. I was like, I mean, what kind of questions? Because I'm not super into sports, so I don't really know if I'm gonna have anything for you. But he said that was fine, and he just wanted to ask a couple questions, and he couldn't tell me the subject matter because that would ruin the question. And I was like, you know, I'm on vacation. I don't have any schedules today. I might as well. Sure, what the heck. So I let him ask me some questions, of which I said I don't know to the vast majority of them. They were all about boxing. This girl knows nothing about boxing, like at all. So I don't think that I probably made the cut to be on ESPN, but you know, my 15 minutes of fame might be coming, so keep your eyes out. And then shortly after the ESPN guy walked away, there was another guy that came up and he asked if he could sit on the bench that was next to the one that I was sitting on, and I was sure, whatever, I don't own the benches, right? So I told him I didn't mind, and he sat down and he's just asking, you know, how's your day going? And I said, that's good, or whatever. And it was, you know, some nice small talk there. I'm from a small town, so, you know, small talk is my jam, I guess. Not really. I shouldn't lie. I am not very good at small talk, but I'm not unaccustomed to it. So, I was chatting with him just very shortly, and then all of a sudden he goes, you don't mind a little weed smoking, do you? Yeah. So, I am a polite person. It's legal there. So I said, go ahead. I don't know why I said that. So, needless to say, just a few minutes later, I was packing up my stuff and walking away. I don't know. It's just strange. It's fine. I don't have any judgment. It's okay. It was the way that he said it. It just cracked me up a little bit. Definitely a little bit different culture than here. Anyways, so I just thought it was funny. So that's pretty much everything interesting that happened that day, which is a lot of interesting things, if I do say so myself. So yeah, let's see, what else did I do? with my sister-in-law. Oh, we went to Universal Studios. So I had never gone there in California. I've never been to the southern part of California. So we went to Universal Studios. Most notably, we went to Harry Potter World because I love Harry Potter. And so I really wanted to go, and she obliged and took me. She's never read any of the books. She's never watched any of the movies. She didn't know what was going on. And so I was explaining to her as we went. I did call her a muggle, which kind of offended her, I think. What are you going to do? So I had a great time there. I liked the cold butterbeer. That was good. Yeah. So let's see. Then from LA, I took an Amtrak down to San Diego, where I visited my friend Julie, and I had a super good time there too. But the big thing that we did together was we went to Disneyland, and she's a huge Disney fan. I'm a huge Disney fan. It was meant to be. We needed to go to Disneyland while I was there visiting. So we decided that we wanted to make Halloween themed Minnie Mouse ears. So we spent an afternoon doing that, and it was super fun, and I think they turned out super cute. So I'm going to show you my ears here. Ready for this? I guess I should tell you, we went to Michael's and Joann's, and Julie, she likes crafting, but she doesn't have a whole bunch of crafting supplies in her apartment. So we pretty much existed off of glue guns and a sewing kit, which is perfectly fine. We were able to produce some pretty fantastic ears out of just those materials, and then what we could get from Joann's and Michael's there. So, ready for this? I love them. I love them. So I got these. Let's see. If you can tell, this is like a sheer material with spider webs on it. And so I got some wire and made a circle out of the wire and then just covered it with that fabric. I put this shiny little purple spider on this side here. Let me see if I can make... none of this is going to be very good lighting. Okay, so I put this shiny little purple spider over here, which I love. And then this bow made out of this black sparkly material. Well, ribbon. It's a wired ribbon. And then I personally love this little mouse skeleton that I put on here. So, I thought maybe it was a little bit morbid, but I thought it was also pretty fun. So that's why I ultimately decided to go with it and just put that guy on there. I don't know. You can make your own decisions about it, but I thought it was super cute, so I did that. And then these are just, I don't know, I pulled apart some random things that I found there, and glued some sticks in there because it's very Halloween-y, I thought. And then this is just a white headband, and I drew with marker some spider webs on it. It's not like the most beautiful thing, but I didn't want it to be plain white, and we couldn't find anything better. So, those are my mouse ears. I'm just going to put them on really quick. See this? Because I can't just wear them for one day while I'm in Disneyland, right? Okay, so I'm just going to wear them for the rest of this time. Cool. Alright, so, yeah, so we went to Disneyland and it was a great time. I like the Halloween themed Haunted Mansion. I think was my favorite ride of the entire day. It was wonderful. Yeah. So, I think that is all I have for the California trip that I wanted to share with you. So since coming back here, actually, this is really distracting me, so I'm gonna take it off. Alright, cool. I hope you enjoyed those couple seconds with the Minnie Mouse ears. Since coming back from California, I have done a couple things with my husband just here in Charleston. So we went on a harbor tour one afternoon with his work group, and that was really fun. Sometimes you forget that you live in cool places which is kind of starting to happen with me here in Charleston. And so it was really kind of nice to go on the like more touristy harbor tour, because we don't really do that. We don't go downtown very often. We live kind of far away from downtown, so it was nice to remember that we live in a beautiful place and we should take more advantage of it. And I had a really good time. And I will insert a picture over here of our feet looking out the forward end of the boat over the Charleston skyline, which is mostly church steeples if you've never been to Charleston. Yeah, so that was a really good time. And then the excitement of the week is little Miss Stella, who just walked out of the room. I don't know if you can hear her clicky toenails on the floors back there when she's moving around, but earlier this week she decided she wanted to eat a remote. My husband was in the restroom, and when he came out, the remote was eaten up and there was a battery that was missing. So he was pretty sure she ate it. So when I got off work that night, we took her to the vet and the battery was definitely in there. I'll just insert a picture right here of her x-ray with the battery. So yeah, that was interesting. They gave her some stuff, made her, throw it up, and it came out right away, so no surgery, which is great. But puppies, what are you gonna do? Well, she's a little over a year old, so she's not super puppy. I don't know. I still think she's in puppy phase, but what do I know? Yeah, so that was the exciting amount. Too much excitement for the week. That was too much. Alright. So, I suppose now I should probably start talking about stitching, because we're 17 minutes in and I haven't talked about it or shown you anything, and I've just been jabbering. So here we go. Alright, so hold please. I'll just go get the Hardanger now. Okay. So this is Victorian Beginner Hardanger Ornaments. It was given to me by a friend when I mentioned that I wanted to learn how to do Hardanger. She gave me this kit. Just being super nice. Let me adjust here. Alright, so she gave me this, and this is where I got to on the plane. So, here, let's see. Oh, that's alright. So, I was able to finish the front of one of the ornaments. So, all this Hardanger is done in here with the, I think these are dove's eyes. I think in my last video I called these on the outside dove's eyes, but I'm pretty sure that those are actually called eyelets, and these are the dove's eyes that are in between. I'll just do a, oh, maybe not. I don't know if I'll be able to get any good lighting. Okay, there's a good close-up of it. I thought, it's not too bad for my first time trying to do Hardanger. So, that's where I'm at, just the first front of an ornament done. And I really have liked doing it, and I can't wait to finish them up and show Mary Lou what I can do with the finishing of it. So, there's that. Then, the next thing that I have for you is the class schedule Sal from Armada Designs. So, I got the October, here it is overall. And I got the October class done, which is this Defense Against the Dark Arts with that Patronus and little gremlin or something on there. So that's where I am with that. Now she went ahead and released the rest of the year with October so that people could finish it if they wanted to. I think I'm still going to keep up with the monthly just because I have other projects that I want to focus on. So doing one little block a month is a nice way to pace myself and be able to work on the other things that I want to. So, oh, I realized that I didn't show you guys any of my project bags last time, so I'm going to show you them this time. I made all of them. I tend to just make my own stuff. Not that I really have anything against what other people make, but I don't know. It's just more fun for me to make them. So this is my bag that holds my class schedules out. This tag just says what is in the bag, because I don't really like the vinyl front, so this way I know what's in here. And here's the inside. It's red and gold for, you know, Gryffindor and stuff. Although I don't think I'm a Gryffindor. I really think I'm more of a Ravenclaw. I don't know that I've ever taken a particular test online or anything about it to see, you know, what class you'd be in, but I'm pretty sure I'm Ravenclaw. I don't know. Something to think about. So the next one that I have for you is my Legendary Creature Sal from CloudsFactory. This is the bag that I put this one in, and I put a metal clasp on this one. The Harry Potter, I don't know if I showed you this, but it's got this cute yellow button here. This is me experimenting and trying to figure out what I like better for project bags, and I think I like the button better, but this one has the metal snap. And here's the inside. It's just cute, you know, thread and sewing fabric in general. Okay, and here is what I have so far. This is overall, and then if I zoom in here, so this guy, this V, is the first of two letters for this month. So let me see if I can move this thread. It's called a, I'm going to butcher how to say this because I don't really know how to say this, but Riolis, something like that. It's supposed to be like a vampire-y type creature, and I think he's kind of cute. I like his little teeth in there. Anyways, there's another one that I'm supposed to be doing. It is the U. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. Let's look here. Urayuli. Another one that I don't really know how to say, but I think it's Urayuli. Urayuli. It looks like a Bigfooty type creature, but or a Yeti kind of thing. I don't have a overall picture printed out. I can go ahead and put it right here of what the overall thing is supposed to look like right now with the U creature in it, but otherwise I just have the pattern, which I'm not going to show. Copyright. Okay, so the next thing I have is my Eliza Cox from Hands Across the Sea, and I didn't really get much progress on it since the last time I showed you guys. Let's see, I think I just did, you know, this top of this pansy and some more of this viney area, but overall I didn't really work on it very much. I didn't have very much time for her this past 5 weeks, which is too bad. I always feel like I should be able to make way more progress than I do, which is probably the nature of cross stitching in general, but I always like say that I'm going to do a whole bunch of stitching during each one of my shifts, and it rarely ends up working out where I do as much stitching as I hope for. So what are you going to do? I'll make progress as I make progress. Okay, so the next one that I have to show you is also a little bit of haul. So I wanted to join in on Ginger Gerald's hedgehog style so bad because I think hedgehogs are adorable and it sounds like fun, and you know, styles. I love styles. But I have so many big projects. I don't really do smalls, or haven't done smalls, and so you know, I love the Riolis pattern that Ginger Gerald is doing. I love it. And I would do that one if I had time for it, but I don't. So I looked up a different Riolis kit that is much, much, much smaller that also has hedgehogs in it that I also think is really cute. So this is what I got. I think it's adorable with these little, the mama hedgehog and this little ladybug around the side. So much smaller. And I just barely started it, and I didn't even start it on the start date of the sale because I was in California on that day. I think it was October 1st, so I think so. So I just have a tiny little start because I wanted to say that I started it. And it's just this little guy. Obviously no backstitching, and this pattern in particular is very backstitch dependent, but you can kind of tell this is his little nose up here, and that's the beginning of his backpack. I mean, he is this guy. So a tiny little start. Oop, that would be the back. That would be the back. Here's the front. Okay. All right, so I think it's cute. Alright. I hope you don't hear her chomping. She's got a chew toy right now, and it's like a really hard one and crunchy. So if you hear some crunching going on, it's just Stella. It's just Stella. Yeah, so that's really the things I've been working on. I worked on my secret stitch a lot while I was in California that I will disclose at a later date. I worked on Beauty and the Beast for maybe an hour, so there's not much progress there. And I also worked on No Face for not very long, so it's not really even worth it to show you guys the little amount of progress that I got on those two this time. So this weekend I have spent a good amount of time making project bags. So I've been trying to narrow down some, you know, how I like project bags to be. So again, I like to make my own things, and I like to, you know, figure out solutions to problems that I come up with. So like you saw with my older project bags, which the ones that I just showed you are the older ones, I label them with a piece of paper that has a hole punched in it, and, you know, a ribbon that's not paper clip, safety pinned to the front of the bag, so I know what's in it. I know that that's one of the biggest complaints about project bags without the vinyl covers, is you don't know what is in each project bag. So I was trying to come up with solutions for that. So as far as that goes, I'm going to show you one of them. This is the first one I made this weekend. So a couple improvements here. So I did a zipper top. So here it is overall. Charleston, there's a bunch of things about pineapples here in Charleston. Sorry, I don't like this lighting. No. Alright, good enough. So, Charleston, there's a thing about pineapples. A bunch of people, like the big fancy houses that are downtown, they have pineapples on the gates going into them, and it was a sign of wealth or something back in the day. So Charleston and pineapples, they go together. So I have totally fallen into that pineapple hole. I think it's cute. I think pineapples are cute to put everywhere. So I live in Charleston, so I'm gonna just put pineapples everywhere and use it as an excuse. So anyways, pineapple fabric. And I made this little like vinyl pouch with a piece of scrapbook paper that kind of coordinates to put in it. So I figured that this is kind of a nice, neat way to put, I can write on this piece of paper, right? I can write which project is in here and just slip it in there, and it keeps it nice and tidy, is close, and it doesn't get ripped off like the other method that I was using does. So I have the zipper top, and then I also, another thing that I worry about with project bags in general, no matter what kind, is I get really nervous putting scissors or a highlighter in the project bag with my project. And it's, you know, I just get really worried that the cap is going to somehow magically fall off a marker and mark up your project, or that the scissors are going to come out of their little scissor holder and poke holes through your project. And it might just be me, but it makes me really nervous. So I find myself, whenever I want to bring a project somewhere, I can't just bring the project bag with the project in it. I also have to bring my separate bag that has all my little accessories in it, like markers, extra needles, scissors, and that sort of thing. And it's kind of annoying. I just want to be able to grab one bag and then that be it, and be able to take that somewhere and have an entire project and the, you know, few supplies, like short-term supplies that I would need to work on the project with me. So my idea to deal with that was to put a little pouch on the inside. So here's the inside fabric, and let's see if I can open this. So if you see, kind of flip it inside out here a little bit, or just in general. So this is the inside of the bag, but I put this little pouch on the inside so I can put, you know, highlighters, like a needle minders or scissors or whatever. I have like 2 separate pouches right here. Right now I just have a whole bunch of extra paper cards in this one to put in the front. So that was my first idea at a solution for my issues, just because it keeps the markers a little bit more stable. It keeps the scissors in a separate kind of pouch, and I thought maybe I'd feel a little more confident with that. But here we go. So I realized that if I have this thing zipped and I'm carrying it around and accidentally flip it upside down, all of those things just came out and are now sitting in the bottom of the project bag. So it doesn't really do much. I mean, it kind of does. If you're careful and you don't flip your project bag all over the place, then it's fine. But, you know, not as good of a solution as I was hoping. So, next idea, ready. The next idea that I had was for a pouch on the front of the bag. So, this is what I came up with. And now, I'm not super happy with the placement of the pouch. I'm still not sold on it if it looks okay, but I'll show you. So, this is the second bag that I made this weekend. And again, I have this like vinyl holder so I can cut out. I have paper, but I just haven't cut it up yet to put in there for a label. And I have this pouch on the front with a button. And it lifts up, and there's some depth to it here. And so you can put your markers and stuff in there. And that definitely solves the solution. Like, it makes... solves the solution. Can't believe I almost said that. Solves the problem that I have with putting markers and stuff in a project bag. But again, I don't know how I feel about... I think it might look a little bit ugly, guys. Not really sure. I think it might be ugly though. So I need to figure out, either put it somewhere else. My husband said maybe it would look better in the corner. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm not sold on it. But this is the lining fabric that I have in here. Right, just that yellow. I do love this fabric though. I got all of this stuff at Joann's this weekend. So if you want any of this fabric, it's at Joann's. Alright, so the third one that I made, I went back to the interior pocket because I decided I wasn't sure about the pouch, and this particular pattern does not lend itself to having a giant pouch on the front. So, I made this Thanksgiving project bag, which I think is super cute. It's got this Thanksgiving chalk pattern. I think it's super cute. I like Thanksgiving. It's not my most favorite holiday, but I like it. But it is my husband's favorite holiday. So anytime I can do anything that has like, or see anything that has a Thanksgiving theme to it, I always think of him, and I always want to get it because it reminds me of him. So this project bag reminds me of my husband because he loves Thanksgiving. It's his absolute favorite holiday. And again, with the pouch for the paper when I get it. And I did put a pocket on the inside of this one too. And I am going to show you this because I didn't plan it like this, but the placement of the pockets actually turned out super cute. So I was happily surprised by that. So if you look, I've got one pocket with the turkey right in the middle. This one's just kind of meh, but this one has got like the flower for the marker holder just right in the middle. So I thought that turned out super cute, but not on purpose. I mean, if it makes you think better of me, you can say that it was on purpose, but I don't know. Alright. So that's what I've been working on this weekend, is trying to do those iterations of bags and find what I like the best. So, I think that's it for whips. I'm counting the bags as whips, but they're not whips. I guess they're FFOs. Would you call it an FO or an FFO? Do you FFO a bag? I'm not really sure about that. But that's all my whips for you. So next I would like to move into hauls. So let me move my pile that I've been accumulating right here. I put it right on top of my haul. I haven't bought that much, which is good for me. So, like I mentioned, I bought that small Riolis kit for the hedgehogs, for the hedgehog style. And then the other bit of haul that I have is from Michelle Bendy Stitchy's Alzheimer's sale that she did. And I snagged some stuff out of that. So, I was pretty happy. It all came in the mail. So, the first one is Lizzie Kate Spooky String. So, I have Thankful String and I have Spring String. Have I started any of them? No. But I have them and I would like to someday do them. We'll see. Alright. Then I got a couple Little House Needlework charts that I thought were super cute. So this one is called, wait a minute, I thought I knew what it was called, Pear Tree. Yep, that's definitely what it's called, Pear Tree, which I thought was super cute. Then Rain Showers, and again, I haven't really stitched any smalls, but I think I need to. So oh, that reminds me of another piece of haul that I have. I'll show you in a minute. But I think I need to try to stitch some smalls. So that was my goal with these last couple, was just to get something a little bit smaller. Now, rain showers just make me think of Charleston and the Southeast in general, because it's always rainy here. And I love the rain, so it's fine. I like warm rain. I should be very specific. I'm not a cold weather person. I'm always cold. My hands and feet are always cold. And if it's, you know, less than 70 degrees outside, okay, I might be able to bump it to 65. I'm pretty much miserable. So, that's why we live where we do, is because I hate the cold. And, but I love the rain as long as it's warm rain, which is a warm place, so it's mostly warm rain. I am pale. I'm very pale. Michelle Bendy, you talk about being pale all the time. I feel you, sister. So, I live in the South, and I live where it's warm, but I cannot spend very much time in the sun. If I am outside for more than like 10 minutes or so, I actually break out in hives all upon my chest here. And the sun and I just don't get along, but cold and I don't get along very much either. So, I think that's why I like the rain so much, because when it's warm and rainy, I can go outside, and I don't mind, you know, getting wet from the rain. It's fine. But I can be warm, I can be outside, and I cannot be attacked by the sun. So, I think that's why I like the rain. So with all that said, here's a winter piece that I also got from her sale. So it's called Winter by Angel Stitches. Angel Stitchin. And I just think it's cute. I like winter motifs. I just don't want to be around it. So, sometime I will get to that, maybe. We'll see. Or it'll just join the collection. Okay, so the closest Needleworks shop to me is, or LNS for me, is in Rock Hill, South Carolina, which is still a ways away. But it's called Stitchin Frame. And I went there for the first time, actually, probably a couple months ago, 3 months ago. And I saw this chart on the wall. They have it stitched up, and it is gorgeous stitched up. I had to have it. Fortunately, they were out of it when I was there, but they said they would call me when they got more in. So they did that, and they called me, and I ordered it, of course, and they sent it to me. And here it is. It is by Bygone Stitches, Quaker Christmas Tube. And it is giant. It is absolutely giant. But it was so gorgeous. I fell in love with it when it was on the wall. So when I stitch this, which someday I might, but when I do, I'm definitely going to change the colors. So my Christmas colors, when I decorate my house, I decorate in blue and silver. And so I will probably change these to blues just because it will go with my house a little bit better. Sometimes I have little accents of red, but for the most part, my tree is definitely blue and silver. So I'll probably change the colors. Speaking of that, I was watching Nordic Stitcher yesterday, and I had never watched his videos before, so I watched the first two. I don't know if he has a third one up or not right now, but I watched the first two, and he had a Christmas pattern that he got for his birthday, and he was stitching it in blue instead of red. I thought that was really cool. Not very many people do blue Christmas. Anyways. So this next piece of haul is from a company called Lansvit, Lansvit. I follow them on Instagram. They send a whole bunch of kits. If you watch Cindy's cross stitch, the fairy that she did, and she entered into the fair this year, is from this company. And I've been eyeballing this pattern for a while, so I finally just up and bought it. It's just very interesting to me. It's called Spanish Patio. Okay, let me see. And if you can see, it's not very much cross stitch. It's not very much cross stitch. It came as a kit, and I love this sketchy look. I think it's really beautiful, and I really want to stitch it, and maybe I will get to it. Again, another thing I might get to. Alright, so that last bit of haul that I forgot to tell you about earlier. While I was in California, my sister told me about a shop that had opened up like right by her house that it's called California Rediscovered, and what they do is they I think they go out to just sales in rural parts maybe of California, I don't really know, and they buy old things that are cool and they sell them at the shop. So I went in there just to see what I could see, and I found this drawer. It is a antique toolbox drawer, and it says springs, chains, pulleys, and hinges on the front, which I thought was really cute. But if you notice, I held it up like this because I think that all of those people that have those cute little boxes, cubbies that hang on their wall, and they fill it with all sorts of cute little things, I think it's adorable. I'm not a decorator. Our walls are pretty much blank in our house because I don't decorate, and the things that we have I made. So this I already talked to you about. I appliqued that. This, if you see a weird lion painting over there, that is something that I painted myself too. So I don't know. I'm not very good at decorating. So this was a big purchase for me, a big step forward in the decorating life, and I want to stitch some smalls and put them in here. So that's my plan someday. I also have to figure out how to put it on the wall. We'll figure it out. And so yeah, that should be all my haul there. So hopefully that gets on the wall soon and I get some things to put in it. Okay, so the last thing that I wanted to talk to you about is it is getting cold here. It's getting cold. And by cold, I mean, I think it's like 70 degrees outside right now. But when I woke up this morning, it was about 50. So that's cold for me, and I start getting sad. But it means that I'm like kind of in the mood to put out my fall decorations finally, because it's not 80 degrees every day. So I decided I would show you some of my fall decorations. Now, I just told you I don't decorate very well. So the few fall decorations I have, you bet I made them. So that's why I'm showing them to you. So first I made a whole bunch of these little pumpkins. I'll just show you. So I just had a bunch of scraps of fabric that were kind of fall colory, and I just sewed squares of them together, joined them up, scrunched it in the top, filled it with, I don't know what's in here, some beans or something, and then some polyfill. This is a cinnamon stick chunk, some copper wire that I just wound around a pencil and stuck in there, and then I made these leaves out of more scraps of fabric, and I just, whoa, something exciting just happened. She came running. I just, you know, did some sewing on it on my machine, cut them out, and glued them right on top. And there's some twine on here too, I think. Yeah. So I made a bunch of them. This is a small one, have a little bit bigger, and then one big one that goes right in the middle of the table. Yep. So that is one thing that I put out for the fall. And then I made this table runner. So I put this on the table too. So if you look, I'll just show you a bit of it. Just some of those like same fall fabrics that were in the pumpkins, which I made after I made this. So I used the scraps from this guy to make the pumpkins along with some other stuff that I had. But this is paper piecing, if you know anything about quilting. Not English paper piecing, just paper piecing. And I hand quilted. If you look at the leaves, the little veins on the leaves, and then this little design in the middle here to hold it all together. So there it is, my table runner. And that's it. That's all the fall decorations I have. I have one tiny Halloween banner that I bought like last minute last year, because I decided that if I was gonna try to get trick-or-treaters to come up to my house, I should probably put something that said Halloween on it out there. So a tiny little Halloween banner that I'm gonna put out tonight. And yeah, that's my decorating ability right there. So maybe I'll learn someday. But I think that's pretty much everything I have for you. It's kind of a long video. Sorry I've been jabbering a lot, but I don't know. I guess 5 weeks is a long time to go. So I guess we'll end it here. Thank you so much if you're still here listening. It's very nice of you to spend some time with me, and I'm very happy to share some small bits of my life with you. It's fun to share cross stitching with other people and crafting in general with other people that also like doing that. So thank you so much, and I will see you when I see you. Bye.